So Microsoft Teams is at its heart there's a few different pieces of it. So this is mine. This is for my company. Um, you have a lot of people recognize it as being chat and being a lot of people think it is just like web meetings. It's like a replacement for Zoom. And yeah, it does. It does web meetings and it does them pretty well. I think Zoom's probably a little better on that, but there's so much more to it. So it's a it's an interface really for SharePoint, which is think of like your big file server in the back office. So you have all of your normal chat. I mean, I can go in here, pop in and chat to anybody else that's in my team, anybody else that's in the company. But then you get into the actual teams themselves. And I'm going to kick over to the Warrior one that I stood up. And what I
Whoop,
did
whoop.
is I created a separate team for legislation collaboration. This is the generic one that everybody joins, and then one for outreach. So basically, those three committees that we were talking about, I went ahead and created a team for each one of them. Now, and you can edit the membership for each of these. So I think right now everybody's in all of them, but you can. Oh, for example, this one, this generic one, where so underneath each team
That's
you can
good.
have separate channels. And depending on how you set those up, those could be public or private. So you may have, if you need to adjust who has access to certain things. Like I added James because this website rebuild one, this was another channel. You could just add, I mean, add a channel, call it, hey, I don't know. What do we need? Um, because I can think of nothing better. And then you pick what kind of channel you want. And anybody, depending on how it is set up, um, anybody should be able to create their new teams and new channels unless you've got it shut off at the admin level. Um, but you can go in, you can create another, hey, here's another team. We're just going to call, or another channel. We're just going to call it that. And then if I had set that to so by default, if it's a standard channel, then everybody who's part of this team belongs to it. If you set it as private, then you can control who has access to that specific channel. So if that was something like this was our board, if I create another channel, it was just the board of directors. We could limit that to only who we wanted in there. Um, but then within each channel, I'm going to use the website rebuild because we use that a little bit. You can just one of the biggest things is chat. Um, And generally what will happen is people will use that general one for just all of the random inter-office banter. I've got one company that used to use it all day long, just to because they don't want to holler at the person in the next office, so they just drop it in Teams. They'll just go in there and go, uh, and just drop it in there, and then and then everybody can just respond to that thread and be like, Fresh Kitchen or whatever. And just because it will keep it in those threads. So as I respond to that and somebody else responds to that, it will keep it within that thread. So it makes it a lot more manageable. It's not
Hmm.
just a string of
Different
message
chat.
like WhatsApp. Um, if you're looking for something in WhatsApp, you're scrolling back up through there, nothing. Even when you reply to something in WhatsApp, it tags a little bit, but it doesn't carry it along with that original post. So you've got to just scroll up and just keep looking for stuff. This will help
So,
keep it a lot more organized.
big question. Is this application available on a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm here for that.
Yep.
Because WhatsApp is ultra convenient because right there, I'm not in front of my laptop often.
Mhm.
I'm just not. Got my iPad usually, but phone,
Yep.
it's always going to be on me.
Yep. Phone. Yeah, complete functionality even on the mobile devices. So Teams, you just sign in, and you can be signed into multiple. I mean, you can see I'm in the Warrior one, I'm in my companies, and then I'm also in. This is a client.
So
Um,
how do you even get to this? Did you have to
Yes.
get it on the App Store, like on your computer?
so if you're going to do it for your company, it is part of your Microsoft Office. If you have a Microsoft 365 account, you have access to Teams.
Oh,
Um, so if you're doing it for your company, it would start under your company's Microsoft 365 account.
Huh. So I've
oh,
got two also, Kelly. So I've got Tadeo and I've got Warrior. You click whichever one. So I'm going to
Yep.
go into Warrior.
And
So it's
then, oh, go ahead.
so it's hidden because I have 365 and I never see it.
I've never seen it before.
Okay,
But I
then,
don't go looking for it though.
Neither do I.
well,
Neither do
if
I. So I don't
if
know.
you go if you've never downloaded the app, then what you can do is you can just go out here to office.com. If you're out in Outlook and you see that little dots up there, can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And just find it in there.
Mm, okay.
And then it'll prompt you that it'll pull it up. You can use it from there, and then if you want it, it'll always prompt you to download the desktop version. Um,
If you right click on it, I believe you can pin it to taskbar at the bottom so it always shows up there.
yeah.
So that would kind of be a shortcut for you.
Um, yeah, but it'll always prompt you to download the actual app because the desktop app really does work better. Wow, where did it go? There it is. Um, Now, like I said, you can add, so you could create channels, you can create, add members. You One of the nice things is your members do not have to be part of your company. So for this one, under the website rebuild team, I went ahead and added James because he's doing our website work. I don't know if you got that invite or not, James.
I heard you. I thought I saw it on WhatsApp, but I didn't
Well,
see it
no,
anywhere else.
you would have gotten it to your email.
Oh,
You would have
possibly.
gotten you would have gotten an invite to your email to where you can join this team. Now, you can join it as a guest, um, and not
Okay.
even have to necessarily even really have a Microsoft account.
Oh,
So
nice.
you can extend this depending on how your settings are at the organizational level. Anybody like you guys, I'm sure we would leave it open. I've got some clients that are, financial industry that we lock it down. But you can add people who are outside, so not everybody has to have. It's like, oh, I have to get a Microsoft account for everybody. No, no, because I can go into this outreach one, and I forget who we decided was going to be in charge of that, but we can add um, from the action committee meeting, we can go in here and add Carol or Sue or whoever we want, and they can access it just like we do, but they'll only have access to the ones that they belong to. Um, but now, once you get actually into the channels, you have conversations. Conversation is just those, you know, chats like we were doing before. You also got something over here that says shared, and this is where it really becomes handy for small businesses. You can store files instead
Oh,
of because where a lot of people will throw everything into OneDrive and then share it from their OneDrive. The problem with that is, okay, Janice from accounting creates a spreadsheet with all the recurring revenue, and she puts it in her OneDrive, and then she shares it out to everybody, so everybody's working off the same copy, which is great until Janice is no longer with us. So now where does it go now? And then you're trying to keep back, okay, who's got what copy, who's who's sharing what from where. At this point, you drop them like with the website rebuild one. I went over here and the website backup, I just dropped it in here. Now
Nice.
it's there for anybody. Um, Jumping back over to mine, it is, these are all of my teams, but like the training team I have set up that is for training my new guys, under each one, I have a different channel set up for each tool we use. 3CX is our phone systems, and Microsoft and RMM and some of the stuff. And all the relevant training materials for that one are under that. So anything we've created there goes under that. If you go into one of these teams and have a meeting,
So do they all go under that same folder?
well,
That-
they'll be the files will be stored in whichever channel you put them in.
Okay.
So if you have separate channels with different people being parts of each one, it will you can control who has access to what. And it ends up
So
being able to be used like a big file server. So if we had a team here that was marketing, like I have sales, I have under the sales team, I have two channels. One is prospects, and this is a spot for anybody, any of the team guys, to drop in, hey, we got a call on a prospective client. Here's all the details. Drop it in here. Um,
Okay.
there's also a few files in there. Um, Basically just a like quick audit, that kind of stuff. And then there's actually a form because you can also take other apps and pin them like Microsoft Forms. If one of my guys goes out to do a survey for a phone system, they could pull up Teams on their phone or on their tablet and jump out here and do this form right from here and click through the whole thing. And then it stores it. It's all in one spot.
So you can actually break this up into separate departments within your company, is what you're saying.
Generally, yeah, Teams would generally be on a larger company. Each department would have its own team.
Okay.
That's generally the way it goes with larger companies. Small businesses like us, it really doesn't make sense to split those departments up. Um, Although you just have different teams for whatever you need to do. Like, Angel may have a team for marketing that's just got her and
Herself.
yeah, I don't know anybody who else
Already
that helps
won.
you. But if you've got another salesperson or another, I don't know what do they call them now, business development rep,
Right.
you give them access to it. And now look, they have access to everything. Because like if you go into the sales resources channel under shared, well, here's all when I did the rebranding, there's all that stuff. So it's easier to find.
That would have come in real handy today.
Here's the other thing is once you're in Teams and you go up here to this handy dandy little search bar at the top, and you can see right now I'm in the sales resources channel. But if I go up here to the search bar at the top and I go uh and I look for my articles of incorporation, it's going to search through all of it. Everything that's in Teams. Everything that's in your OneDrive. It's going to search all of it. So even though I'm in the sales resources team or channel under the sales team, I can still look up for my articles of incorporation because I have access to it. I'm going to find it. Even though that's in a completely different um different channel. That's up here under admin files. In a completely different team so if you have access to it, it'll populate in that search. Makes it a lot easier to find stuff. If you're over here in, I mean, hell, all my client information, I mean, it's just
Folks.
I've got folders, with files for everybody, and no matter where I'm at in here, I can go type something in and search for it.
Put in Tadeo. Look at that. Ta-da.
And see, this is even pulling up because
My email's in there.
your email, it's even pulling up meetings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you
So it's almost like a company intranet alternative, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can have different departments. You
So
can put your
whenever you create a team, so
Wow.
SharePoint with Microsoft is the back end great big file server. That's like your filing cabinet. And whenever you create a team, it automatically creates a SharePoint site associated with it. So that's where it all stores. And um, some other things that you can do with it is you can actually, let me go jump back into this one. If you're in one of these teams, one of these channels, and you create a meeting, which is the web meeting, and you tell it to record, it's going to automatically drop that into, you'll have a recordings folder in here, and it'll automatically drop the recording in here. So
That's
hey,
cool.
so if you, hey, we're having a meeting about I hadn't put this up yesterday when we had the other meeting, or we did it on Zoom anyway. But reaching out or moving forward, if we do another one about the website, we'll do it in here, and then automatically, boom, the recording of the meeting is right there with everything else. On the chat side, you can also, this, as you can see, looks like an email. You can email into these teams.
Huh.
It's as long as it is set up to allow it. You can go over here and go, hey, get email address, and it'll create an email address
Wow.
that you can then link to, um like on the website, we could have it send the contact us form, could drop those emails directly into a Teams channel,
That'd be great.
those emails.
Convenient.
I wasn't thinking of doing that originally because I don't know how much you guys are actually going to be in Teams, so I don't want stuff getting missed. That's why I said we'll send it to an email. But for those people who tend to live in Teams all day long, it's perfect. Um,
Well, now that I've got the app on my phone and I can see how, like, I'm in it and I'm watching things on here,
yeah,
I'll be
and
a
just
fan
being
quicker.
able to, I mean, just being able to to message back or chat back and forth with, I mean, you can do private chats with people, so we can do just, hey, I'm going to chat with Angel, and I can just start a conversation. Well, this can be private chats between you and I,
Right?
not in a channel. But for which is nice for that, but for collaborative stuff, throw it all in the channel. Everybody can see it. Everybody can comment on it. Um,
Like the
and if it's
foster care stuff, Angel. We
and
Yeah.
if
start
it,
like doing all that stuff, we could just throw it in a file.
yeah, and it's easy and it's accessible. So you do it on here, and then you're out on the road later, and it's on your phone. You pull it up, and boom, everything's on there, and anything that goes that you throw in later on the phone is in here. You get the pop-ups. It works no matter where you're at. The files are there no matter where you're at because they're stored in Teams. So it's whether it's your desktop, your phone, your tablet, whatever, easy access to everything. Um, the other thing with, oh, that's the calendar.
Is there an employee directory in something like this, Scott? Could you do that would work or not?
Um, well, I mean, you've got a ton of other apps over here on the side. You can do phone calls. You have to have a different license, and it sucks. It sucks as a phone system. Um, but the ability to catch those meetings and put them in there and just automatically throw them in there so that you can oh shit, what did we say earlier? And now you're on the road, so you just pull it up and it plays with your speakers and your thing, and you re-listen to the same meeting as you were half paying attention to that morning. As now you're driving to something else, you put it back on and play it and listen to it because you have it. Not that I ever do that.
Not at all.
Um, and the other thing you can do is any of that stuff, you can actually sync to your computer itself.
That's cool.
So all those Teams channels and those files I have stored out there are all those same ones are right in the file explorer that you're used to using on your computer. You can actually sync it right to your desktop. And this is not OneDrive, this is actually through SharePoint. So it's you got your OneDrive up here. This is actually the SharePoint sites. So for those people who are more accustomed to doing it through File Explorer, like we are. I mean, I know I am. I'm much more used to doing it that way. You've got, I mean, you can drop in other apps. I mean, there's a million and one. Like Shifts is one that one of my clients uses. That's how they keep track of who's got time off. They're not hourly employees, but they just want to keep track. They needed a good kind of shared calendar of saying, hey, who's off certain dates or what are they doing, whether they're out with a client meeting or what. So they just use that, and it's just, oh hey, we did. How do you get to it? Through Teams, just like everything else.
Okay.
But you can tag each other in there. Really, that's the majority of the stuff. That's the basics. Like this is the our Zoom call the other day. This is the AI summary from it, and I just had it send it straight to this team as a send it to that email. So so Zoom emails me the AI summary of our Zoom meeting. I grab that email, cut my signature off of there, and forward it to the team. So now it's here for any of us who want to look through and go, hey, what all did we talk about? Well, shit, there's everything. But for, like I said, I run into a lot of people that I keep looking sideways because I've got your faces on another monitor. So if you're wondering why I'm always looking to the side, it's because I have
Sure.
3 monitors and all your faces are on that one.
Well,
Whatever you-
my camera's right here, but y'all are up here, so you can see up my nose. So
Yeah. Um,
I'm telling you,
I
James
run
is really looking too.
it's I've tried a lot of different software over the years, and Teams, in my opinion, is the best one out there for collaboration. Because when you go into, hey, if we have some image files and we throw them over here and shared, and then we're all working off of them, so we're all working off the same copy, and 3 or 4 of us can be in them at a time, especially like Excel spreadsheets, Word documents. If we're all editing a proposal or um, editing a spreadsheet, we can all be in there. And I don't know if you've ever used it at like something like Excel at the same time as somebody else, but whatever cell the other person is in is lit up with their initials on it, so you know what they're doing. And sometimes that stuff is, especially with Word documents and that, so that you're editing and it's kind of keeping everything. You're not
Focus on-
dealing with who's got the current version of what. You don't ever want to get stuck in that. Who's got the current version of what? Everybody has the base version. It's all in the company's uh, filing cabinet, not in the one in your desk that you take home at night. It's in everything stays in the company's filing cabinet. Everybody pulls it out and works on it at the same time. Um, But I run into a lot of people that just think of Teams as being a replacement for Zoom with web meetings, and it's like it is so much more than that.
That was
Yeah.
me. That
And
was me.
I run into a lot of people that don't know you can store files in Teams. They're like, wait, what? You can do what?
So let me ask you this, then what's
Also
the
me.
point of OneDrive? Because I would
So
like to do away with OneDrive
so
personally.
what you would do with what OneDrive would be, in the back end, it's SharePoint as well. So y- your OneDrive is your personal work stuff.
Mm.
So things that you're working on that only you touch.
That's not how ours is set up, dude. We can see all of Vinny's stuff.
Because he has shared that out to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Because everything that multiple people are working on or multiple people need to access should go in SharePoint, i.e. Teams, and then like your like so my personal OneDrive or my company OneDrive, I have a bunch of stuff in there, but it's stuff that only I use. So
Mm.
it's notes that I have for myself. It might be pictures that I've taken, my copy of my headshot, um, stuff like that is in there. Some personal type stuff, but it's your personal. It's like I'm
The
trying to.
stuff that you work on before you send it to Teams.
No, not necessarily.
No.
Because if it's going to go in Teams, just throw it in Teams to start with. Um,
Hmm.
but it's stuff that nobody else really uses. It's stuff that nobody else needs to see. Because they're just. I mean, I've got stuff in there. I've got some music in there. I've got um, some executive. God, can't even tell you what all's in there. I will use um, I will use my OneDrive at times for sending if say if I have a client who's got surveillance cameras and I need to pull footage and send it to them, I'll send them a link through OneDrive because those video files are always too big to send
Right.
um, through an email. You can't just send them as an attachment because you've got a 35 meg limit on any email service out there, and those things are just gigabytes. So we throw them in there and then share them out from there. But most of it, we like my company one has, I've got a folder in there with Warrior stuff in there, you know. But the other thing that OneDrive does is OneDrive will sync it's almost a backup. I don't want to call it a backup, but it syncs if as long as you have it set up, it syncs your documents, pictures, and desktop folders from your computer to your OneDrive cloud account and keeps them synced. So, um, because that's on the personal side. So if I put something in my documents folder here at home because I'm synced to OneDrive, when I get to the office tomorrow, it's in my documents folder there. And if I'm out on the road and pull up my laptop, it's in my documents folder there because it's syncing. OneDrive is kind of keeping a copy of everything out. It's the copy out in the cloud, and then everything else is syncing to it back and forth. Um, that's also the problem with using it for everybody is because for all the files is, you said, Vinny's got so much in his that if Vinny
The
shares it
mesh.
out to everybody and Jim Bob, the new guy, has access to all that and he decides he's going to leave because he gets a better offer, he can grab that and go. He can wipe. He gets mad at Vinny because Vinny chewed him out on a job site, took him out behind the woodshed, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes in there and goes, okay, delete, and that wipes it from Vinny's as well.
Dirty turd.
Um, so
Okay.
there's
Hmm.
they're connected, but they serve different functions. So, but really that's all I really wanted to go over was just like, it's really the best one out there in my opinion for collaboration.